Okay, guys, so let's prepare to listen to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, the Democratic, in New York City, or in New York. She's going to be speaking to reporters on Capitol Hill regarding the incident that happened with the ICE agent shooting the woman while she was trying to interfere and evade police. Let's hear what she has to say. I already saw a little bit of it, and I already can tell you that it's going to be aggravating to hear some of these things that she says because it's not the truth. Let's check it out. This is what pisses me off, guys. This is what pisses me off about Democrats. This is what pisses me off.
Can we get you down here, Congressman?
I'd have to, I take a look at it, but I
Congressman, what's your response to Vice President Vance yesterday saying the Minnesota shooting was a tragedy of her own making?
I understand that Vice President Vance believes that shooting a young mother of 3 in the face 3 times is an acceptable America that he wants to live in, and I do not. And that is a...
He never said that. He never said that. He never said it's an acceptable thing.
Fundamental difference between Vice President Vance and I. I do not believe that the American people should be assassinated in the street. Thank you.
The Vice President has
planning to use the power of the purse to sort of...
Also, not an assassination. Self-defense of human life. Let me remind you, this is the same woman that advocates for defunding the police, abolishing ICE, law enforcement in the streets to help citizens of this country in emergency situations. Keep that in mind.
DHS and all in the wake of this Minnesota shooting?
I would hope so. I think that this Congress exploded ICE's budget to, I believe, the tune of $170 billion additional dollars, making it one of, by and away, the largest paramilitary force in the United States, with no rules, with virtually no restraints, and as we have seen, are now carrying out extrajudicial killings in the street. So I would hope that...
This is bullshit. She should be deseated for false information. She's making all of this up. This isn't fact. This is what bugs me. Why isn't there a way where we can deseat her from Congress if she's saying false information like this to the public? It's not making any sense why she's still out here. Why she's even relevant.
That is not the America that we want to live in.
The president, in an interview with the New York Times, said that the only thing that would constrain his power as commander-in-chief is his own morality. What do you think of a comment like that?
I mean, it shows the danger that we are in and the necessity for us to have a Congress that is willing to rein in the president's power, as well as the necessity for the Supreme Court to be able to rein in the president's power as well. Now, we have a Republican majority that has decided to completely abdicate its power to the president. I think it's up to the American people to ensure that we take away power from those who do not use it well.
Can I ask for a moment about...
Take away power / take away freedoms, protections to American citizens. This is what it means in the equivalencies of what she is saying.
Democratic leaders on both sides, Leader Schumer and Jeffries, when I press them about ICE and even Venezuela, they seem reluctant in this funding round to do anything on ICE or Venezuela because it seems as though they're reluctant to blow up, any fragile agreement they might be. Do you get that sense, and do you think that's a mistake by them?
No, I mean, listen, we have a caucus that is very wide, and they're responsible for leading an entire caucus that elects members from across the country. So they're in a different position. But and whether it's this funding round or when Democrats are in the majority is a tactical decision that is up to leadership to make. But I think in the long term, what we are seeing now is that this funding of ICE, it exploded virtually overnight, and we are already seeing the ramifications of it in terms of the abuse of power that is happening, as well as the fact that ICE doesn't even meet the level of rigor that your local police department has to meet in terms of ethics and in terms of rules and regulations that they have to.
And they shouldn't. I don't agree with that. Because then what is the point of having ICE? What would be the point? What would be the purpose? Why not just recruit and deploy certain local law enforcement members around the entire country to deploy to certain cities to do what ICE is doing? No, instead we keep those officers there in their respective cities. We created an agency called ICE that specifically handles national threats. One of them being illegal immigration. And that is why they put a bunch of money into the funding for ICE, because President Trump ran on this. He said this for months. He was going to have the largest mass deportation in American history. And when you hear somebody say that, yes, it's going to cost a lot of money to make it happen. Money worked, money passed. Agents are out here. They're doing their job to help save America. And if you don't see it that way, you see it as the emotional lens of, well, they are bullying American citizens. They are not allowing they're out here murdering people. That's not what is actually happening. If you look at it case by case, we can break it down case by case, as we should be doing, to ensure that we don't have any crooked ICE agents stepping the boundary and doing what they're not supposed to be doing.
To abide by.
What do you
Has the
say to your
administration
Republican
released
colleagues?
enough of the Epstein files to your satisfaction?
Pardon?
Have you gotten enough of the Epstein files to your satisfaction?
This administration, the Trump administration, Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Pam Bondi, are engaged in one of the greatest cover-ups that we have seen when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein and protection of people that are in power and close to power. It is horrifying. My thoughts are with the victims, but what I am encouraged by is the House Oversight Committee's continued pursuit in their subpoenas against Lex Wexner and others, and we will continue the fight for justice for victims of these crimes.
Do you think Bill Clinton should be...
Okay, and I agree with the Epstein files. We need to get these exposed because it's going to throw a lot of people in government under the bus. And this is why they're not going to just free willingly give this to the American people and say, hey, American people, here are the real Epstein files. Yeah, my name's on it, and I happen to be running this part of the government. What happens now? You guys are going to overthrow me, veto me out, impeach me, do whatever you have to do to get me out of political power. They're not going to want to do that. They're going to safeguard it as long as they can. And this is why there's Democrats and Republicans that agree with this in the sense of we need to have the list released. We need proof of everything. He already got caught. He got busted. He supposedly committed suicide. Talking about Epstein. Way more players in the game out there. They don't want to be exposed. How do we expose them without crippling or completely destroying our system of government is the questions we should be trying to figure out and prevent.
Do you know about oversight?
I'm sorry, I know he's got a...
Yeah, what would you say to your Republican colleagues? Just the fact that they say that if these people would follow the law and not get involved with ICE and try and disrupt them collecting people who are here illegally, what would you want to tell those people?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah,
Oh my God. This is what pisses me off, guys. This is what pisses me off about Democrats. This is what pisses me off. Okay, so he asked her a very, very clear question. And for some odd, weird reason, there's something in these liberal minds that capture this very understandable question and figure out ways to translate it in a way where they're like, I need to answer this in a way where I'm still destroying Trump, his objectives of helping this country, getting rid of ICE, making sure I say things that, tell that I do not support law enforcement in this country, and what I can say to help get gullible minds to keep me in power so I could keep staying on this path of stupidity. Literally, this is it right here. And AOC is the perfect prime example of why you should not be voting Democrat. Literally, if you look at AOC and you're like, she's a strong, independent woman. She knows what she's talking about. She's going to save us from corruption. She's going to help put more money in our pockets. She's going to do all these things to make our lives so much better. You do not see that in AOC. You shouldn't, because it's not there. Look at her face expressions as he's giving the question.
Continue the fight for justice for victims of these crimes.
Do you think Bill Clinton should be subpoenaed by the oversight?
I'm sorry, I know he's got a...
Yeah, what would you say to your Republican colleagues, just the fact that they say that if these people would follow the law and not get involved with ICE and try and disrupt them collecting people who are here illegally, what would you want to tell those people?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, some of the Republican colleagues are basically...
It's the word illegal that catches her off guard every time, because when they're in the committee, they're always talking about immigrants, immigration that, immigrants this. And then when you start, the Republicans come out and they're like, stop, we're talking about illegal immigrants. And that's when they're like, bzz, bzz, bzz. Sparks and everything in their brains are just like, they turn into Patrick Star from SpongeBob.
saying that ICE is doing its job and that people are there to disrupt them and to stop them. What would you want to tell them?
I would not say that assassinating a young mother of 3 in the street is part of ICE's mandate. ICE specifically has a mandate that has nothing to do with going after U.S. citizens. Watch the video for yourself. You don't have to worry about the politics with me or what I'm going to say or what anyone else is going to say. Watch that video for yourself, and you will see a woman trying to back up her vehicle and leave a volatile scene. And she was met with 3 bullets to the face. You tell me, and any law enforcement officer in the country,
ask me.
Salt,
I used to be in law
tell
enforcement.
you that is not how you handle that situation.
Self-defense. You do. Look how she answers the damn questions, guys. Look at how she answers it. Okay, you guys already heard this question twice. You guys heard her answer it. Hear her answer it again, because this is why we cannot be electing these type of people in political positions, because they are not answering the question. They evade the actual question and they replace it with their answer that would be for a totally different situation and a totally different question. I mean, this is elementary. This is elementary stuff, and people grasping it like it's, oh, she's saying she got bars. She's saying some stuff. No, she's not. She's not.
I would not say that assassinating a young mother of 3 in the street is part of ICE's mandate. ICE specifically has...
See what I mean, guys? It's just a circle of stupidity, and people need to realize that, the majority of American people are not stupid. And this is why we voted for Donald Trump, because we wanted a safe America. We wanted an America that, inspires people to come here, legally, willing to contribute to society. What do you have to offer coming to America? Besides taking the benefits and sending them back to your home country, what are you going to do for this country? If you're choosing to move to America or sneak into America and we go to war with somebody, are you going to be loyal enough to defend the United States of America after you've been here legally or illegally, becoming naturalized and reaping the benefits of the American system? Would you help defend this nation? Let's ask these people. Let's ask them. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Until next time, peace out, everybody. This one's for Charlie.